How's everybody doing out there today? And thank you for taking time out of your day to give me some of your time and listen to me. This is Papa G coming at you. And today I'm coming talking to you about some things that are near and dear to my heart. Um, if you know me, then you know I'm a revolutionary. You already understand I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here. I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not doing this for anything but to get into the history books and have my name in there as a civil rights leader who stood up and revolutionized things for the people. When I originally started, I looked at civil rights as an issue for black people only. Over my years of growing and learning, I realized that civil rights is an issue for us all who are in certain social and financial statuses. So, without any further ado, I present to you the new piece of legislation that I have written. It's called the Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act. Okay? Now, this act was inspired by the challenges and the things in life that I went through and the experiences that I had in the New Orleans public school education system and the challenges that it left me with to face in life in order to get to the polished person that you see me to be today. I understand what the problems of the city of New Orleans is, probably better than anyone, because I'm a fly on the wall. And I'm one of the few people that was in the city, experienced all of the lows, none of the highs, got a chance to see all of the adults in their rare, pure, raw form, and have no illusions about the reality of my state because of the city of New Orleans. So, what I would like is, first of all, I want to start with my parents. Please, let's start to make it an educational goal for our children to not sing their ABCs, but to say their ABCs and to be able to write them both capital and lowercase, as well as count and write to 10 by the time we're bringing them to the first grade. Please, let's endeavor as parents to show our children how beautiful education is and have them reading 1, 2, and 3 letter words by the time they go to the first grade. But not just that. Once your child starts to read the 1, 2, and 3 letter words in those first reader books, you put them as the spotlight of attention at family functions and get all the adults to be quiet for a minute and let the baby read and let the baby clap, let everybody clap for him. You'll get the exact same response as you would if you put them up there and let them sing one of these young rappers. I can't call nobody's name because I'd be stunting. I don't know nobody. One of these new young rappers' name, rapping one of their songs word for word. If everybody would clap for that, because they would be amazed that the 3-year-old can do that, they would also be amazed that the 3-year-old can read 1, 2, and 3 letter words, start to write their name, know alphabets, can count to 10, all those type of things. As a community, these is low-hanging fruit that we can focus on and get done. As a community, this is the focus we need to focus on. We need to put a concentrated effort on eliminating the image of the gangster and the thug that we never really wanted for our children. If you be honest, Hollywood and the government has made a serious focus on getting us to adopt and accept that identity, and the brainwash is complete. So we have to put a serious concentrated effort on letting everybody know that we are mathematicians and readologists and Englishologists, you know what I'm saying? And we are some bad mofos. So once we have our children as a standard coming to school by the first grade with this, then we can really get a stable community. All right, because when you bring kids to school doing that, you'll see the change in the pride. But furthermore, we're asking the federal government in this Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act to let our children take 2 trades starting in the 9th grade. So in the 8th grade, the child would select 2 trades. Let's say a child say, I want to be an electrician and a plumber. So when he gets to the 9th grade, he will have 2 courses in his curriculum that is for that. He will have one for electrician, one for plumbing. You understand? In the 10th grade, the kid would have both in class and on-site classes. Now, what do I mean by on-site? What I mean is Louisiana is a third world country. Okay? We are in desperate need of our people learning how to tend to our state. So, in order for us to get success in having our people learn how to tend to our state, we're going to have to put a concentrated effort in educating them. Now, what does that education consist of? The education consists of skilled, labored people making 12 years worth of school worth something. How do we do that? Okay, excellent question. I'm so glad that you guys are in tune to this and asking good questions. When the kid get to the 10th grade and they're taking the on-site classes, these classes are where they actually leave the school and they're going to go to undeveloped areas. They're going to go to areas. We have whole towns in Louisiana that are just abandoned. Okay? So we have, like in New Orleans, we have whole areas that are still in disrepair from Katrina. The roads, everything. So these are areas that these young people, whatever your curriculum is, will be practicing. All right? This gives back to the revitalization of the city. At the same token, it's educating our people. It's teaching our young people about the levees. It's teaching our young people about the canals and everything that's unique to that city. But also teaching them how to lay fiber optic line down in the ground, how to, do all of the infrastructure and maintain and also improve that city. All right. We want to revolutionize the police force in that city with artificial intelligence and more drones, more cameras. Okay. Want to use tranquilizers instead of bullets through flying drones, but I'm going to cover that in my Louisiana Police Reconstruction Act. But right now, we're dealing with the Public School Reconstruction Act. So now these kids will be revitalizing these communities. And where will you get the instructors from? I'm so glad you asked. The instructors we will pull from leading trade schools out here that are robbing our children after they graduate high school, when these are things that, these low-hanging fruit are things that we can put into the schools. Now we're asking the federal government to pay these people a very handsome pay. In other words, if we go and pull a person from a trade school that has all the credentials and everything that we need for our program to be successful at this high school, and this trade school is paying this person $36,000 a year, I say that we offer him $50,000 a year, the federal government, because we're going to be coming with tests in the 11th and the 12th grade for state licensure. And we need to have qualified instructors who can turn out knowledgeable, literate people. You understand? Functioning people in these fields. So what happens? All right. You got young men graduating, knowing how to repair lawnmowers, washers, refrigerators, dryers, televisions, DVD players. They know how to do anything, put a roof on a house, be an electrician, ASC certified mechanic. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Tugboat. I mean, so what happens now is we will ask for a Mason-Dixon line agreement where every state below the Mason-Dixon line would honor Louisiana's graduates and allow them the movement across the country with respect for their degrees, because this would be a federal program. And we're asking the federal government to fund this program for a 10-year period. And what we're asking from the first graduates that graduate is that they're going to sign documents stating that barring catastrophic injury or illness, they will be independent of food stamps and welfare. Louisiana will be the first state to reverse the roles of food stamps and welfare to the 55 and up community, which is ultimately something else that I'm after, because I don't believe in robbing young people of their machismo when they're young like that and they need to pay into the system and they have all that energy. Because I remember, when I was a young man, I could work 60 hours a week and still party and have a good time. And so I don't want to destabilize Social Security, and I don't want to destabilize programs for the elderly and the needy and stuff like that. And I believe that if we can lift the burden off of our financial obligation toward the young people who have not contributed anything to the situation by being very aggressive at the 1 through 12th grade level, that we can turn out a strong workforce and not have so many people that are dependent upon government services. I'm asking that this is protected solely for the state of Louisiana. Okay. This is not something for other states. We are in a very bad way since we lost our seaport business, since Bill Clinton put the city of New Orleans and basically almost put Louisiana out of business with his NAFTA and CAFTA. We're not a seaport town anymore. Okay. Likes Brothers Steamship Company is gone. The other steamship company that was there is gone. Nothing has been put back to replace that revenue. But what I'm not trying to be careless to other states. I would actually encourage other states to be very aggressive about having businesses relocate back from overseas and back to these inner cities and all this old pollution mess. I mean, you're dying of violence anyway, so you might as well at least be able to live decent. But as back to Louisiana, the Public School Reconstruction Act, when a kid gets to the 11th grade, they will be taking the classes on site, and of course they will be doing their off-site classes. At this point, the students should be able to demonstrate a lot of knowledge and independence in working and ability to perform tasks upon instruction without management. And it should be able to perform the task according to the rules, regulations, and guidelines, or the safety standards therein, however the rules are set forth. If these young people can get out here and kill and maim and do all these other things, they can sure enough, and if they can run off with the computers and all this kind of thing, they can sure enough get the trades and master them. Okay, so in 11th grade, that kid would take their state license examination toward the end of the year. Now, when that kid passed their state license examination, let's say they drop out of school for whatever reason, teenage pregnancy, finance, whatever the unfortunate circumstance is. And I'm just deviating right here just to talk about this. We're now dealing with a person who's a licensed mechanic. instead of just a high school dropout. We're now dealing with a person who's a licensed roofer. You understand? Now, let's get back on track. Let's say the kid fails the examination in the 11th grade. Now, all of this is federally funded, of course. It's not one red cent from the state, okay? Because the only reason Louisiana is above Mississippi is because we pay taxes. If we didn't pay taxes like federal taxes like Mississippi, we would be in the mud with them, okay? So, and Louisiana is way too crooked and way too racist to allow this program to be done under state guidelines. They would still rob it blind and make sure that it become a failure, and they don't care because, you know, ultimately they walk away with generational wealth for themselves on the short game, and they play the long game. They would make sure that this was their chance to change their legacy, and we pissed it away for them. So we would ask that the federal government maintain its regulation and rule over the program for 10 years, keeping record. And what you will be keeping record of is how many of the young people that graduated with their license went to the penitentiary. How many of them graduated with their license, applied for government assistance, you know? And when you see that number plummet, then you understand that this program is a success, and then it should be federally funded, you know, permanently in the state of Louisiana. Okay. Now, when the kid gets to the 12th, if the kid fails the examination in the 11th grade, when the kid gets to the 12th grade, they will continue to take both on and off-site classes, and they will take the examination again in the 12th grade free of charge. Okay. Now, because this program is trying to make sure that people have a place in this life. When you walk up to a person 20 years after this program is started, you'll be able to say, what industry did you graduate school in? And they'll be able to say, I graduated school in carpentry. I graduated school in auto mechanics. Everyone will have a profession. If you graduated in the state of Louisiana, you know, you will have a profession that you graduated with. Like I was saying, in the 12th grade, the kid would take the examination again, free of charge. Okay. Now, let's say this joker fails again. You have 1 year after you graduate, from the day you failed, 1 year from that day, to be able to come back to the school and take the examination again, free of charge. Okay? You will get a brief refreshers course, because you'll be expected to be out there diligently studying on your own and working hard, because all of your classmates will be that went on and got theirs. This should motivate you to go out there and get yours. You understand? So they will come back in that within that 1 year time span and take the examination again. If they pass, or when they pass, they get their licensure. We have to make 12 years worth of school worth something. We have to. Okay? College cannot be the end all be all. And if we're going to create a gravy train for foreigners to come into this country and experience the American dream by opening up all type of benefits to them who have never paid 1 cent into this country before they come to and receive benefits, then we darn tootin' can come together and realize that we can put a package together to start making basic American life at some standard of living. You know, this is really going to strike racism hard. This is really going to revolutionize Louisiana. You know, I envision a Louisiana where a man in Baton Rouge can take the high-speed rail down to Grand Isle and fish, and then take another high-speed rail over to Lake Charles and shop, and then go back to Baton Rouge by high-speed rail. I want a Louisiana that's got gondolas moving across the city of New Orleans. And I want a Louisiana that's got driving underground tunnels. You know, I love Louisiana, this dirty bitch. And these are things that can really improve her. If the people, if we can come together and in our TV commercials, in everything that we do, we can be cautious of the children, because we are some sorry motherfuckers in this state that our children are sometimes, most times, always the most violent in the United States of America. That speaks to us as adults in the state of Louisiana. Because whether you raise them fucking children or not is standard amongst us all, seems like. Okay, so let's come together and let's start to care about the commercials that's marketed on the television. Let's in our state, let's put a strong effort into education and having children reading by the first grade. And, you know, Louisiana, please, let's raise the price of ammunition, please. In a city like New Orleans, where crime is so with guns, you know, I'm being very honest. Like, if somebody came up to buy some bullets for an AK-47, them bullets should cost like $1,250 for a case. And there should not be no silver powder bullets in the state of Louisiana. It just should not happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the state, we only should let, like, if you come to buy some 45 rounds, all right, and you live in the city of New Orleans, I mean, a box of them bullets supposed to cost you about $950, maybe $1,100. We should make it too expensive to shoot somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least if you got to stab somebody, you'll stab the right one instead of miss-shooting. You know, we're going to take the lesser of two evils, you know. But I'm going to talk about all that in my Louisiana Police Reconstruction Act. Okay, but we can do so much better here in Louisiana, all right, if we just decide to put our best foot forward with education, put these trades back into school, okay, let these kids graduate with their license and whatever it is that they're taking, all right. We can, and I'm loving the effort that they put in school, where you got some kids graduating with associate's degrees. You understand? So that's kudos for the kids going to college. But what about the kids who ain't? All right? We can't keep turning our back on them, because they are the masses. So listen, this has been Papa G hollering at y'all. Y'all know me. I'm here to shake it up. I'm here to start a fight. All right? I want trouble, but good trouble. Okay? I'm not a person that just talk bad about the state of Louisiana without solutions. I'm not just going to call Louisiana a dirty bitch and not tell her how to get clean. And it's high time for us to be called the professional coast, you know. So please, let's get a petition going. And, you know, what I would like to do is the mothers in the 3rd grade, you know, and the fathers of the children in the 3rd grade, I would like us to start having public meetings and signing a petition saying that when our children get to the high school, we're going to boycott the public high school if these programs are not there waiting on our children. That's enough time for us to garner enough support across the state of Louisiana to be able to speak in one uniform voice and say, yes, we want trades put in all our public high schools. Yes, we want the federal government to pay for it for the next 10 years. That's right. We're not going to get our money back from Ukraine. And that money would have paid for this, what I'm talking about. Okay? And Ukraine ain't never gave us one damn dime of taxes. They ain't never worked 1 hour in this fucking country. So, we can do this. And then we boycott the schools. If they don't put these programs in there, if they don't have those instructors that are waiting on our children, if they don't have the forms when our children get to the 8th grade for our children to select the 2 trades, you understand me? If they don't have this program all set up and bought the land, reserved the land, bought the land, that they leased the land from the local municipalities, want the federal government to just lease the land from them to do the land improvements through the students who are working to get their licensure. You understand? Louisiana is a great state. It's a great state, but it's been managed by evil, dirty, nasty, high yellow people. They do that old colorism stuff. Louisiana is a cesspool because of the people that's devoid of pigmentation. I said it, and I don't care if you don't like it. If you look at the history, you see how nasty the people without pigmentation have been in this state. You see how nasty the people without pigmentation continue to be in this state. And you understand that in order for us to get up, come on. Don't y'all want to live in a place where we ain't the murder capital of shit? Let's attack this education. I need the mothers to look up and see how much your baby will be making if he graduated school as an electrician. I need the fathers to look up and see how much your baby will be making if he graduated as a roofer. ASC certified mechanic. You understand me? Laying that fiber optic line. Doing the thug bizzle. So this is what they don't want. This is what they don't want. They don't want us to be living in peace and harmony in the United States of America. They don't want us to just be happy. They want us to be like, hi, dog eat dog. They want only the struggle stories to come up. They want only the struggle to survive. See, I had to get it the hard luck way. I had to get it like a dog in the mud. So since I had to get it that way, that's the American way. The only way to get it is like a dog in the mud. Meanwhile, you watching them design programs to bring people over to this country and live better than you. And your history is you built this motherfucker. So please, let's get a petition going. Let's get this Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act taken care of. All right, let's get our children graduating as licensed beauticians, first, second year dental students, you know what I'm saying? Working on those programs, everything. Let's make 12 years worth of school worth something. This been Papa G hollering at y'all. Letting you know, look here, I love you and I love everybody. Peace.